Hi everyone, I'm going to do something a little bit different today. I'm going to see if we can build an entire squad on eFootball with a budget of 1 million GP. So if you're new to the game, if you've got positions in your squad where you're lacking options, you could do with picking someone up who's not going to cost you too much GP. Or if you're like me and if you're playing the game for a while and you just like to pick up a bargain now and then, hopefully in this video you'll find some players who could be of use to you. One thing to mention before we get started, I've mentioned this before, but in the game plan, when players get a green or a blue arrow and they're in good form, if they're only a 3-star or 4-star card, they will get a bigger boost than a 5-star card. So sometimes these low rated players can actually be a bit better than you think. So just something to keep in mind. But we'll get started now. And we have 2 goalkeepers in the squad. So firstly, we have Diouf from Reims in France. This guy costs just 20,000 GP. One of the cheapest players in our squad here. So as you can see from his attributes, he's got solid awareness at 85. The catching and parrying are both okay, both 80 plus. Reflexes at 87 is good. Reach at 82, jump 80, both decent. He's only about 6 foot, so he's not the biggest, but he's okay in terms of his reaching and jumping. The catching and parrying likewise, but the awareness is pretty good and solid. Reflexes at 87 as well. So for just 20,000 GP, that's a solid goalkeeper option. And our other goalkeeper got the Mexican legend Ochoa. So again, 84 for awareness is pretty solid. Catching 78 is not brilliant. He's kind of okay. And then parrying likewise at 80 is okay. But you see there, 90 for reflexes. On a 3-star card, he only costs 34,000 GP. 90 for reflexes is fantastic. And again, he's about 6 foot, similar height to Diouf. So 82 for reach is okay. Not brilliant, but okay. And then jumping at 87, that does compensate for his height. So on the whole, for 34k, I think that's a bargain for a goalkeeper, especially with those reflexes hitting the 90 mark. So, to summarise our 2 goalkeepers, first 2 players in our squad, Diouf and Ochoa, both 3 stars, but both very good value. So now, moving on to defenders, we start with Diakite. So, I recently did a video on the nominating contract pack, the Golden Boys pack, and the match pass players. Diakite is the premium match pass player at the moment. It's a 5-star version of this card, but even this card at 3 stars and at 26,000 GP as well can be trained to be a centre back. We've got two players who are registered as right backs who are going to be playing as centre backs for us. And there are a few players like that in the game who are down as fullbacks, but if you train them as a centre back, they can be really good. So with Diakite, as you can see here, he's around the 90 mark for all 4 of those core defensive attributes. And then down the right, he's got good pace for a centre back. His aerial and physical strength is pretty solid at 85. And when you come down and look at his skill set, he's got heading and aerial superiority, so he's pretty solid in the air. And he's also got man marking, interception, and blocker, 3 crucial skills for a centre back. So on the whole, this is a good and quick centre back. So for 26,000 GP, this is a real hidden gem. He gets talked about quite a lot. People referring to him as a hidden gem, and that's absolutely what he is. He's an absolute snip at 26,000 GP. And our next centre back option is much the same. Stanisic plays for Leverkusen now. Leverkusen aren't licensed in the game anymore, so if you want to pick him up, you'll have to go to the standard player list and just filter Croatian right backs, and you'll show up in that list. He's down on eFootball up here as 29,000 GP, but in the game he's actually 20,000 GP, so he's even cheaper. And like with Diakite, very strong defensively, good pace. He's not got quite as much acceleration and balance as Diakite does, but aerial and physical strength decent, and stamina likewise is good for centre back. Down here in the skill set, again, man marking, interception, blocker, crucial skills for a centre back. He's got aerial superiority as well to make him strong in the air. He's also got one-touch pass, which is a really nice bonus skill for a centre back to have, because centre backs, including this guy, don't tend to be good on the ball with their passing and their ball control. One-touch pass will help in that regard. So a nice set of skills, some good strong attributes, and for just 20,000 GP as he actually costs in game, another really nice little bargain to pick up to play centre back. So, got 2 more centre backs. With those 2 fullbacks who are converted to centre back, they won't have an active play style at centre back, which isn't a problem, I don't think. Certainly in my experience, it's not. But if you do like particular play styles, we've got a couple of guys in here who will have a play style active at centre back. The first of these guys is Edson Alvarez from West Ham, and he's a destroyer. So we'll have a destroyer at centre back. And with Alvarez, again, solid core defensive attributes down here. Awareness is solid at 85, the rest around the 90 mark. On the right, it's pretty average pace. He's got reasonable strength aerially and physically. Stamina's pretty good again for centre back. He's actually quite decent on the left hand side here. His ball control is being over 70, and then with the low and lofted pass, both 72. Not brilliant in general, but for a centre-back, is actually pretty decent. And then when you come down here to the skills with Alvarez, what you get is a complete set of skills. So he's got the heading, the aerial superiority, so he's strong in the air. He's got one touch pass, a low lofted pass, so that should really add to his passing. So he's got nice passing for a centre-back. But then man marking, interception, acrobatic clearance, fighting spirit, blocker, sliding tackle. He's got the full set. I think he's got just about everything you could want from a centre-back. So as a centre-back destroyer, 47,000 GP. I think this is a really good value card that you can pick up. Good, strong destroyer centre-back. And our last centre-back to give us another option, we have a more orthodox centre-back. It's his only position. It's where he's originally intended to play. And this guy's a build-up. So you got the other type of play style. We don't have any extra frontman centre-backs. I'm not a big fan of that play style, but we do at least have a destroyer and a build-up. This guy is 190 centimetres. He's the tallest of our centre-backs, so he's quite a tall guy, big and strong. Again, the aerial and physical strength is good. Looking at the skills first here, aerial superiority. So for a guy of 6'3", aerial superiority with those attributes, he's going to be big and strong. He's going to be good in the air if your opponent's playing a lot of long balls and crosses into the box. He's also got man marking, interception, blocker, so crucial skills for a centre-back. And his attributes all around, pretty solid. Not spectacular, he's very aggressive, but solid defensive attributes down there. Reasonable pace for a centre-back. And like I say, he's a big, strong boy, he's a build-up. He's a real traditional centre-half, so we've got 4 strong centre-back options there. We'll have a look at them in summary. So there we have our 2 cheeky sort of converted right-backs who are supposed to be a right back, but we trained them to play at centre back. And then we got a traditional centre back, Bornauw, and Edson Alvarez, a destroyer. So 4 centre back options there. So now we'll move on to fullbacks. So at fullback, what we've got is 2 options on either side. We've got a defensive option on each side, and then also on each side we've got a more kind of all-round option. So with Luke Shaw, we've got the all-rounder on the left. So Luke Shaw, we see we've got good pace, good stamina, physical contact's okay for a fullback, balance is good, defensive attributes are pretty okay on the whole, not amazing but pretty solid. And then down the left, he's okay on the ball, he's got a good cross on him. You look down here at the skill set, he's got pinpoint crossing, through passing is a lovely bonus for a fullback, and he's got interception and he's got blocker as well. Not many fullbacks have blocker, so good selection of skills, attributes are strong, a really good all-round left back, Luke Shaw. He's one of the more expensive players in our squad at 76k, but I think it's worth it, it's an important position. And as I say, a defensive option. He's a popular guy, this guy Reinildo, so there aren't that many good defensive fullbacks in the game. A defensive fullback will sit back more, they'll hold their position more, they won't be as inclined to bomb forward down the wings. A lot of people like this playing style just to keep the flanks a bit more secure. So with Reinildo, I've taken a bit of pace away from his default allocation. You can train him however you like, obviously, but I personally like a bit more technical ability. It scares me a bit having fullbacks who can't control the ball or pass it. Like I say, you could take some points away from here, put it back on his speed if you like, but even on this allocation that I've done, good pace. The physical contact, the balance are both okay. Stamina's good, but crucially, all his defensive attributes are 80 plus. So a really good, solid defensive left back. And when you look at the skill set, man marking, interception, fighting spirit, blocker, sliding tackle, some really good skills for a fullback there. This is a very good, strong defensive left back. And 51,000 GP, I think, is a real bargain. And if you wanted another option very similar, there is Matheus Oliveira from Napoli. I think he's 47k, same playing style, very similar attributes, but he's just a little bit bigger and stronger. So there is that option as well, but we've gone for Reinildo. And on the opposite flank, defensive right back, very similar to Reinildo, we've got Foyth from Villarreal. So again, we've got good pace, we've got great stamina, the physical and balance are okay. The crucial ones down the middle, defensively he's 80 plus all the way down. And down the left, there's just enough on there. With these defensive fullbacks, you can't expect them to be great on the ball as well as being as strong as they are defensively. But you can tweak these out, the point allocation as you like, but this is how I've got him. So again, looking down at the skills, interception, acrobatic clear, fighting spirit, aerial superiority. He's a tall guy as well, so he's strong in the air and sliding tackle, so some good defensive skills. So we've got a good defensive option on both flanks at fullback. And then finally, an interesting one for our other right back. So Laimer, there's been a couple of feature versions of Laimer. I've had both of them. There's the free Halloween one recently, which you may have got. Hopefully you have, because it's a great card. And what's great about it for me and a lot of people is that you can train him to be a right back. He's supposed to be a centre mid, can play right mid or defensive mid, but can also play right back. And if you train him for that position, as you can see here, even on his base card. Just like with Luke Shaw, we're spending a bit, bearing in mind our budget, 76k, but it's worth it because this is a really, really strong right back. He's got good pace, physical contact's decent, balance is good, stamina is fantastic. He's never going to get tired. Defensively, he's pretty solid all the way through there. It's okay on the ball. He's got a decent low pass at 80. When you look down at the skill set, the important ones, one-touch pass and pinpoint crossing, really good skills to have for a fullback. And then you come down to the defensives, man marking and interception, sliding tackle at the bottom there, fighting spirit. I mean, he's already got 95 stamina. He's never going to get tired, but man marking, not many fullbacks have that. Interception is crucial. Sliding tackle's a nice bonus. All around, this guy's just a really strong right back, and I think very good value at 76k. So, to summarise our fullbacks, as I say, we've got a defensive option on each side, Reinildo and Foyth, and then we've got the all-round builds with Luke Shaw on the left and Laimer on the right. So we've got some really strong fullbacks in our squad. So, on to the midfield. So we've got 6 players who can play in the middle. The first one's another player who we're going to train in a different position to what he's got down as his registered position. So Daley Blind down's a left back. We're going to use him as a defensive midfielder. So as you can see with the way I've allocated the points, 90 defensive awareness. It's tremendous. And he's got 88 engagement, which is great as well. Tackling is pretty decent at 83. Not the most aggressive, but it's not a disaster. We're going to use this guy mainly as a kind of an intelligent, technical defensive midfielder. He's going to read the danger, be in the right place at the right time. He's going to be able to win the ball and distribute it. He's obviously a bit slow. He's not the most mobile, so you're not going to do a lot of dribbling and trying to pace and dribble past players. You're just going to get the ball and distribute it. So don't ask too much from the dribbling and so on, but the ball control and tight possession is fine. The passing's pretty decent. And although he's slow, he's got reasonable physical contact. He's got good stamina. You look down at the skill set, some really good skills here. So he's got one-touch pass and weighted pass. Low lofted pass as well, so his passing is going to be very nice. But then you come down here, you find man marking, interception and blocker. He can also be our captain if we wanted to, but man marking, interception, blocker, 3 very, very strong skills to have for a defensive midfielder. So this guy's really, really good value at just 32,000 GP. And our other option for a defensive midfielder, we've got Wieffer from Feyenoord. So whereas Blind is a kind of intelligent, technical defensive midfielder, this guy is just a thug. If you like a physical presence in defensive midfield, a big tall guy, this is what you want. He's only 20,000 GP. He might not be an elite level 5-star player, but he's big, he's strong, he can do a job for you if you need someone in that position on a budget. 6'2", he's got 81 physical contact, stamina's reasonable. You might want to put defensive on him to stop him from getting tired. Pace is pretty average for a defensive midfielder, like with Blind. You can't expect too much pace. It's quite rare unless you were going to splash out on someone like Barrios. Defensively, he's in the 80s all the way down there, so he's strong defensively. The ball control's decent. Again, like with Blind, don't start trying to dribble with this guy. It's not what he's good at. But the passing's decent. And then you come down here. Not only is he a big strong boy, but heading and aerial superiority, so he's going to be strong in the air. And then man marking, interception, fighting spirit. So he's got some of the core skills you want from a defensive midfielder. His playing style's orchestrator, so he's gonna sit back. He's not going to move forward too much, although he's not an anchorman or a destroyer. But really, when you look at the attributes he's got, he is pretty much a destroyer. He's going to sit there and he's going to just be a physical presence. He's going to win the ball for you. And like I say, for 20k, I think that's good value. So Blind and V for the defensive options. And then we have a couple of all-rounders. So firstly, we've got Ricci from Torino. Ricci is a real kind of deep line playmaker. So he's sound on the ball technically. He's got good passing. He's defensively okay. He can contribute defensively. We'll see in a moment. He's got interception. Got pretty good pace for a centre mid. Physical contact's not too bad for a deep line playmaker type of player. Got the orchestrated play style. So he's going to kind of loiter around the middle, roam around looking to kind of start attacks. He's not going to move forward too much. The balance is pretty good. Stamina's very good. And then we look down the skill set. One touch pass, through passing, weighted pass. Got lovely passing on him. And then an interception, like I say. So he can do his defensive work as well when he's getting back. So a nice little technical centre midfielder to kind of play make from deep. And then our other all-rounder in the middle, of course, we need a box-to-box. And this is one of our more expensive players, 64k for this guy. But Thuram from Nice, he's got a bit of everything. He's a big boy. He's 6'3.5", 192 centimeters, 80 kilograms. He's big and strong. Pretty decent on the ball. He's got decent passing. He's okay defensively. He can do his defensive work, but he's big and strong, remember, which will help. Pretty good pace for a centre mid. The physical contact, the balance are okay. like I say, with the physical contact, his physique will make up for that. So he'll feel like he's stronger than that. 87 is decent stamina. You look down at the skill set, double touch and soul control, so the dribblers are like that. Crucially, he's got one touch pass, heel trick as well as a nice one in the middle of the park. And then he's got interception and sliding tackle as well for when he's doing his defensive work. So a big, strong all-rounder really is a box-to-box. Is a strong centre mid, and I think 64k is a pretty decent price for this guy. Good value. So, to summarise our midfielders here, like I said, we've got 6. We've got Blind and Wieffer, 2 options in defensive midfield, 1 more technical, 1 more physical. And we've got Ricci as a deep line playmaker in Thuram. And in fact, I forgot to show you Celso and Gomes. So let's just go straight back and I will show you the 2 attacking midfielders who I just forgot to show you before the summary. So, Angel Gomes. He's a little guy, 168 centimeters. He's a creative playmaker, but being as short and light as he is, he'll be nimble, he'll be responsive. He's got decent pace, 84 balance. On the ball, he's fantastic. For a 3-star card, he's only 29,000 GP, 90 ball control, 90 tight possession, 87 dribble. He's great on the ball, good passing as well. You come down here, he's got a bit of dribbly stuff for the dribblers. Long range shooting, 1-touch pass, through passing, low lofted pass. He's got trap back as well. This guy's not a centre mid. You're going to use him as an attacking midfielder. That's where he's best used. I would probably put counter target on him to stop him from tracking back too much because his stamina at 78 is not brilliant. But if you use him that way and you focus on him as an attacking midfielder, getting into the opposition half, creating and scoring, I think that's where he's best. He'll be very effective. He's a really neat little player, and I think 29,000 GP is one of the best bargains in the squad. And our other attacking midfielder, we've got Celso from Spurs. So not quite so quick as Angel Gomes, but acceleration is decent, balance is pretty decent. But then you look down the left, technically that's very strong. On the ball is strong, passing is really nice. He can play as an attacking midfielder. He's got the whole player playing style. So we've got a whole player on our squad. That's a very popular playing style, very effective. He'll make a lot of good runs forward into spaces. He can play in off the right wing as well if you want to, although he's not the quickest. When you come down and look at the skills, a bit of dribbly stuff, but crucially, long range shooting, first time shot, 1-touch pass, through passing. So he's got end product. He can create and score goals. So a whole player has got end product. He feels neat as well. I've used a few versions of him in the past. 51,000 GP I think is a good price. So to go back to our summary now I have shown you all 6 of these guys. So we've got 2 defensive midfielders, 2 all-rounders in the middle there. And then we've got 2 very nice attacking midfielders, Celso and Gomes, with plenty of end product. So a nice selection of midfielders in the middle of the park. So now we start on our wide players. So we've got a couple of players on the left, a couple on the right. And what I've done is I've got a couple of inverted wingers and a couple of more traditional old school wingers. So this guy is really an inverted wing on the left. You can play Deulofeu as a striker, as an SS. You can play him wide right or wide left. You can train him differently depending on what position you want to play him, and wherever you put him, he's a really, really nice player. He's 51k in GP, and I think that's an absolute snip. One of the best bargains in this squad. He's really nice on the ball. You see that 90 dribbling especially, good offensive awareness. The passing is decent. As I say, you can train him differently. If you want to focus on him being a winger, you might want to put his passing around that where I have. If you want to use him as a striker, you would take some points away from passing, put him on finishing, obviously. On the right here, you see he's got good pace. He's got 90 acceleration, 90 balance to go with 90 dribbling. I've used him. He's really nice on the ball. He's very, very good technically. Come down and look at the skill set. So you've got a bunch of dribbly stuff as you would expect. Long range drive, especially useful coming in off the left flank. Pinpoint crossing, if you played him as a wide right forward, could be handy. Super sub as well. So we could have him on the bench and bring him on. It'd be really effective. I really like this guy. He's versatile. He's very good on the ball. I think 51,000 is an absolute snip for him. And then we have Ruben Garcia. So he's our kind of old school winger for the left-hand side. He's left-footed. He's a cross specialist. He's going to bomb up and down that left flank. And he's going to put crosses in. Left-footed, on the left, 85 lofted pass. As you see, he's got pinpoint crossing, so he's got a very good cross on him. He's also got through passing, and he's got long range shooting and long range drive. So he's got a bit of product all around. He can play as an SS if you wanted him to, or he could play him on the right, have him cutting in from the right flank. So he's versatile. He's neat on the ball. Like I say, good crossing. Decent pace, decent balance and stamina. I've got this guy, I've got a feature version, and I've got this version as well. He's really neat. I like him. Very useful player. He's tidy. 32,000 I think is a very decent price for him. And then on the right hand side, firstly Navas. So to mirror Ruben Garcia, we've got a traditional wing on the right hand side as well. So Navas, the right footer, got great pace for a 3-star card. The balance is decent, stamina's decent, got good dribbling on the ball, lofted pass at 84. So again, with pinpoint crossing, he's got good crossing. One touch pass, a nice bonus as well for a wide man. But with that crossing especially, this guy's an old school wing. He's going to get up and down that right flank at pace. Going to go put crosses into the box. So yeah, again, 34,000 GP, similar to Ruben Garcia, an old school wing. I think that's really good value. I've got him and I really like him. And then the last of our wide men, this is Rodri from Real Betis. So similar to Angel Gomes, 169 centimeters. He's a small, light guy. He's going to be very nimble, got decent balance, good pace, very nice on the ball. So he's going to feel lovely on the ball, small, responsive, got decent passing as well. Again, you can reallocate these points. You can give him more for his passing if you like, a bit more for finishing, shuffle them around. You look at the skill set. He's got some dribbly stuff for the dribblers. He's got long range drive coming in off the right flank. He's left-footed. He's got through passing as well. So there's a bit of end product there. A little bit of everything. And like I say, he's a small, nimble guy who's really nice on the ball with good pace. I think he could be a really effective right winger. And I think 43k in GP is actually a very nice price for this guy. So we'll have a look at our wingers in summary. So an old school wing on each side. Ruben Garcia left, Jesus Navas on the right. And then we've got Rodri and Deulofeu. And they can both be very, very nice inverted wingers. They're both quite versatile. It's quite a bit of versatility with these players, with our wide players. So moving on from our wingers, we get to our strikers. So we start with another one of our bargains. This is a 32k striker, 32,000 GP he costs. He's 170 centimeters. So again, low center of gravity. He's a small, nippy guy. He's got really good pace. Balance is good at 84. He's not brilliant on the ball, but really what this guy is all about, you see with the awareness and the finishing both being 85, get the ball in behind the defense and get those shots away because he's a finisher. He's a real goal poacher. Looking at the skill set here, first time shot, the most important one, but then we've got acrobatic finishing, dipping shot, long range shooting, long range drive, chip shot control as well. If you ever want to risk a chip shot, they're a bit dodgy in the game at the moment though. Soul control is nice. He's just a lovely, pacey little goal poacher. So for 32,000 GP, one of our bargain signings, and a very good price, I think. And then from this little man, Ruidiaz, to the big man, we've got Alexander Mitrovic. So he's now playing in Saudi, plays for Al Hilal with Neymar. You'll find him when you go to the standard player list. And if you go to leagues on under the filters and then go to the Asian Champions League under Asia, he's in there. He costs 51,000 GP. He's got the fox in the box playing style. It's a nice playing style, especially for a guy like this. So when you look at this guy's attributes, Mitrovic, 189 centimeters, he's about 6'2", 6'3", 90 kilograms. He's a big, strong guy. You look at the balancing of his attributes, he's obviously not the most nimble. The dribbling, the balance, the pace are not particularly high, but he's big, he's powerful. The ball control's decent. The awareness and the finishing in the mid-80s. Heading 83. Physical contact 89. When you get the game plan boost, that's going over 90. Jumping at 80. High kicking power. He's just a big, powerful guy, and his finishing can be absolutely lethal. I've tried it myself. Big fan. Looking down at the skill set, as you would expect, heading and aerial superiority. Acrobatic finishing is going to be really strong from crosses. First time shot, rising shots. As I mentioned, that box in the box playing style, when you look at the balance of his attributes and his skills, he's very much a target man. That's the type of striker he is. You want to be feeding the ball into him, playing off him, giving him long balls forward and putting crosses on his head. With the box in the box playing style, whereas a target man, which is what most players like Mitrovic would have as a playing style, a target man would kind of loiter around on the edge of the area and they won't move around too much. They won't make many runs in behind the defense, which can be frustrating. A fox in the box is just a little bit more aggressive with his movement, and he just means he's more likely to be getting on-ended chances when you put passes and crosses into the box. So I much prefer that playing style on this type of striker, and I think this is a really valuable card for 51k, and it gives us a very different option to Ruidiaz. And also our final player, Danjuma from Everton. So much like Ruidiaz, we've got a pacey goal poacher. Got good pace, very good balance. The stamina's decent for a striker. He's alright on the ball on the whole. Certainly the dribbling's decent. And again, we've got good awareness and good finishing, both in the mid-80s. You come down to the skill set. First time shot, the most important one, but also dipping shot, long range shooting, long range drive. Got soul control, a bit of dribbly stuff for the dribblers. Got pinpoint crossing, but he's not going to be crossing it. His lofted pass isn't great. He's versatile. I think of all these positions, on the right, I'm not sure that's really where you're going to get the most use out of him. He is a striker, but I think wide left, when you bear in mind he's got 84 finishing and 83 curl, with long range drive, his long range curlers could be really, really effective coming in from the left flank. So if you're playing with a wide left forward, I think Danjuma could be really effective there coming in off the left flank. But like I say, as an out-and-out striker, as a goal poacher, also very effective. So a 47,000 GP, I think that's a really good signing. So to summarise our strikers, like I said there, Danjuma, versatile, could play well coming off the left, but also a very effective goal poacher. Ruidiaz likewise is a pacey little goal poacher, that low centre of gravity, great little poacher. And Mitrovic, the big man up front, feeding the ball into him with long balls and crosses, very effective. So, to look at our squad in summary, there's all our players. 23 players. We've got plenty of options. We've got versatility, especially in those wide positions, in the attacking positions. The big question is, have we been able to complete this whole squad for less than our budget of 1 million GP? We'll ask Harry to do the maths for us. We've done it, 992,000 GP. As you can see, Harry is absolutely delighted, and so am I. I think for less than 1 million GP, we've assembled a very competitive squad there. So, if you're new to the game, as I mentioned at the start, hopefully there'll be some players in there that help you to fill your squad out. It could be a good option for you for cheap. Or if you're like me, you like picking up bargains and just building kind of theme squads and trying players out who are just a little bit different. Hopefully there's some players in there that you might find interesting. If you do try these players out, do let me know how you find them, if you think they're any good. If there's any players you think I could have included that I didn't, likewise let me know, because I love hearing about bargains. But yeah, there's going to be an update early December. They might update the database with that update. If they do, and if there's any new kind of bargains or hidden gems that pop up, I'll be sure to cover them. I'll either do a video on them or at least do a tweet about them. I may do another video like this with a different budget, maybe 2 million, maybe even 500,000 to really challenge myself. But in the meantime, I'll see you on Thursday for Player of the Week. I'm expecting there'll be a decent Doku card from Man City and maybe the new Harry Kane from Bayern as well. But yeah, as for this video, hopefully you found that useful. Thank you as always for watching. I do appreciate it. I'll see you soon.